Good evening out there, everybody. Alan D9J Sports. Hey, you know what? We're right back at it with another show. We've got a good one lined up for you. We're going to be talking about Cam Newton and Cam Newton's comments about Jalen Hurst not being in the top 10 quarterback in the National Football League in 2025. And we're going to break this thing down, and we're going to tell you exactly how wrong Cam Newton really was. So let's jump right into this thing. So Cam Newton does his thing on his podcast and said that Jalen Hurst was in the top 10 quarterbacks in the National Football League in 2025. And, of course, the internet's blowed up. He's had a back and forth with Ryan Clark and also with Gilly the Kid. But let me tell you my thoughts on it. Cam Newton has a right of, like everybody else, in their opinion about who's the best. And I guess since Cam played quarterback in the National Football League, he seems to feel like he has a right to. I mean, I guess his comments are going to be right. But let me tell you, just because you played quarterback in the National Football League, that doesn't mean you're right. Cam Newton's number one thing is Cam Newton says that Jalen Hurst had look at all the receivers in the team that the Philadelphia Eagles were, and he was not asked to win the game. He just wasn't asked to lose the game. Well, Cam, isn't that every quarterback? Isn't that every quarterback that plays in the National Football League? It's their job not to lose the game, man. That's everybody. Okay, and you want to bring up who Jalen Hurst is passing the football to. Last time I checked, Cam, wasn't you passing the football to Steve Smith? Were you or were you not passing the football to Steve Smith? And are you going to tell me that A.J. Brown or there's no receiver on the Philadelphia Eagles team that is better than no damn Steve Smith? See, that's how people want to overlook the obvious. But I'm not going to overlook the obvious. Talking about who he's passing about. A.J. Brown, the Heisman winner for Alabama. None of those guys are the caliber player of a Steve Smith who you were passing a football to. I will tell you right now that Ted Ginn, the journeyman, in his heyday when he was playing back there with the Carolina Panthers, he was a heck of a player, man. He was a heck of a player. So those are the receivers you was passing to. Your running back rushed for about 1,000 yards. No, he wasn't a Saquon Barkley, but let's not forget Cam Newton, that the first year that the Philadelphia Eagles were led to the Super Bowl by Jalen Hurst, Saquon Barkley wasn't on the team. He was not on the team. Let's keep it rolling. You want to tell me that the tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles, that was Dallas Goedert, you telling me he's better than Gregg Olsen? Were you not passing the football to Gregg Olsen? Yes, you were. So no, Cam Newton, you were not right. You were not right. Then you want to bring up Baker Mayfield and how many yards Baker Mayfield passed for and how many yards Tua Tagovailoa passed for in the limited amount of games that he played in versus Jalen Hurst. Well, let me just set you straight on that. Playing quarterback, man, on every level is about what you do when it counts. That's what it's about. It isn't about whether you pass for 4,000 yards or like Lamar Jackson rushed for more yards than all of the quarterbacks in NFL. One of the leading quarterback, if not the leading quarterback for rushing yards in NFL history. But what happened when they got in the playoffs and he couldn't even get the job done to get to the Super Bowl? What did that do? What did all them yards that he rushed for, what did that get him? It didn't got him a trip home. It got him a trip home. That's what it got him. When you see players like Justin Herbert, I like Justin Herbert, but why you want to put Justin Herbert above him? Justin Herbert, is he didn't even want a playoff game? Oh, but if they pass for 4,000 yards, then that makes them something. If they pass for all these yards, were you passing for 4,000 or 5,000? You may have been up there, but were you passing for more yards than Justin Herbert, or was Justin Herbert passing for more yards than you? See, Cam, it isn't about that. Tom Brady didn't have no foot speed. Tom Brady didn't have a rifle for an arm, but he worked on his craft, and he was still able to get the job done in those moments. Remember those moments when he drove him downfield against and Adam Vinatieri kicked the field goal against the Rams? Remember when he drove them downfield against the Carolina Panthers? Remember when he drove them down and led them back against the Atlanta Falcons? Those are the moments. Situational football is what matters. Doesn't matter about how fast you are. Doesn't matter about how strong your arm is. It's about, can you get the job done when it counts? And no, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, if you played for the Philadelphia Eagles, what would you have done? Shit, you didn't do nothing. You didn't do it with Carolina. So I will tell you that if I'm going to look at everything in an open eye, if you would have played for the Philadelphia Eagles, you would have went out there and made some mistakes. You would have made more mistakes than Jalen Hurst made. You would have made more mistakes than Jalen Hurst. So no, I'm not going to say if you were playing for them, you would have led them to the Super Bowl, they would have won it. No, not going to do that, because at times you were reckless. When you needed to pass the football for 195 or 200 yards, when it counted, you couldn't do that. Oh, when it counted, you couldn't do that, but you want to go down on Jalen Hurst. And don't get me wrong, I'm not mad at Cam, because Cam has an opinion. I do understand some of what Cam is saying, but overall, not to put him in the top 10, Cam, that's not right, because you know yourself. So let me stop right there and let me just think. The top 20 quarterbacks in NFL history for passing yards, you got Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and you got Drew Brees. Fran Tarkenton is on the list, down like 17 or 18. You've got the great Warren Moon and those guys right there. But what did that get them? What did they get the great Warren Moon? And I'm not telling you that Jalen Hurst is better than Warren Moon. What I'm telling you, what did those yards get them? Nothing. What did all those yards that my man, the great, and you know who I'm talking about, San Diego Chargers. Oh, yeah, number 17, Phillip Rivers. Hey, he had that funny release. He passed for all those yards. It didn't get him no Super Bowl. It didn't get him a Super Bowl berth. It didn't get him a Super Bowl berth. So, no, Cam, you're wrong about this, brother. You're wrong about it. Now, does he have a lot of things around him? Yes, but you can't take that away from a quarterback, because if you're going to take it away, then you got to take Tom out, because Tom had a hell of a defense. You got to take Joe Montana out. He had a hell of a defense. Okay? You got to take them guys out. If you're going to do that, you got to take it out. Plus, they also had, you got to think about it, Joe Montana had Bill Walsh and George Seifert. You're going to take them out because he had Andy Reid? Come on, man. You can't do that. You can't do it. You can't do it. That isn't the way it's supposed to be. You got to know situational football is what quarterbacks are based on. If you think I'm lying, you watch your college team. What happened to the Ohio State University when they beat Texas? Damn, Quinn Ewers couldn't get it done. In situational football, he couldn't get the job done. High school football, you're based on whether you win in big-time games, whether you can play in situations. In situations. That's what it's about. I guarantee you what, all those quarterbacks in the NFL, those that you put above him, with the exception of Patrick Mahomes, they passed for all of them yards. But what happened? They didn't get to the Super Bowl. No, sir. They did not get to the Super Bowl. So, Cam, you need to think that when you on that comment. Now, as far as blowing the internet up, you definitely done that. Alan with D9J Sports just wanted to weigh in because everybody's talking about it. And damn, Cam, I mean, come on, dude. Come on. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. See, a lot of times athletes, we forget in the sense, I think, where we come from. The person who jabbed him and Ryan Clark were taken were out of bounds. Cam Newton, I'm going to tell you, dog, you maybe need to humble yourself when it comes to that. I'm not telling you to back off of your comments and your feelings. I'm telling you, man, taking them personal jabs like telling Ryan Clark he didn't get drafted, man. Well, you were fortunate, man, because you remember what happened when you got into that trouble and you had to go to a JUCO to play. Nothing wrong with JUCO, so I played quarterback at a JUCO. So, yeah. So, every quarterback out there that ever played football that has their opinion, if you didn't play in the National Football League, then you're wrong. I didn't play in the National Football League quarterback, but I played quarterback. So, no, it's about situational football in the quarterback position. Alan with D9J Sports. See you next time. I'm definitely out.